Paul Pierce, who is an interesting broadcaster. What is he on now?
He's on Undisputed. When Shannon Sharp left Undisputed for First Take last year, Skip replaced him with a collection of guys, including Keyshawn Johnson, Paul Pierce, Michael Irvin during football season is on there, who I actually like Michael Irvin's analysis during football season. He's great for NFL takes. He's probably the best of all of them. And Richard Sherman, too.
I like Irvin because I don't think he makes stuff up, and I don't think he makes up takes to get a reaction. This, to me, is a made-up take about Dalton Knecht. And I want to go ahead and play it. So pull it up and let's hear from Paul Pierce, the former Celtic, and his thoughts on Dalton Knecht, who was drafted 17th, right, by the LA Lakers. All right, here we go.
Correct.
Paul.
Here we go.
Translating to what he did at Tennessee to what you got to do for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
You can go from a small-time school to the Lakers. That's hard to be somebody who I'm thinking going to contribute.
Is it that much of a transition going from Tennessee to LA as far as the town? Sure. But you got GPS, you'll be fine. And you got 1,500 people that are there to support you. The issue I have is not questioning his ability to make that move. The issue I have is, why is Tennessee suddenly a small-time school? What is going on with it? I mean, how in the world? Gonzaga technically is a small-time school, but it's a big-time basketball program. Is Tennessee not a big-time basketball program? I think they just went to the Elite Eight. I think they have one of the most winningest coaches in the history of college basketball. I don't understand where small-time school comes from.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard anybody say. And okay, I'm not that high, but it's in the tier one. It's a tier one dumb thing that someone has said. The vast majority of college athletes who go to the NBA come from schools that are smaller than Tennessee. The vast majority. Now, Pierce tried to correct himself, or tried to be like, I'm talking blue bloods, and Tennessee's not a blue blood. So he mentioned Kansas, Kentucky, UCLA, the Carolinas. Fine. Sure, you guys say what you want to say.
Blood? Is Texas a blue blood?
No.
Oh. Where did Kevin Durant go to school?
Texas.
He's worked out.
Wait a minute. Who's the Lakers star player? LeBron James. He came straight out of Akron, Ohio. Okay? Like, that's small time. But let's just play this game real quick. You're talking about the quality of the school. Well, that's next level dumb analysis too, because it's not about the quality of the school. It's about the quality of the competition, right? So for instance, let me just give you an example. Vanderbilt's a small time football school. Can we agree with you? Can we agree on that?
Yes. And by the way, I love where you're going here. Go ahead.
Yes. If a player coming out of Vanderbilt was great, we're not going to question it because they went to Vanderbilt, because we're going to be like, oh, but they played SEC competition, so they're obviously great. Like, your quality of your school doesn't matter. The quality of the competition you face matters. So one, Tennessee's not a small-time school. They just won the SEC regular season title. They just made the Elite Eight. They're probably, yes, they haven't won a national title, but there's a lot of schools that haven't won national titles. But more importantly than that, because Paul Pierce mentioned, I'm talking about the Kentuckys. Well, Tennessee plays Kentucky 2 to 3 times every year. Okay, then he said, I'm talking about the Carolinas. Tennessee played North Carolina last year. Then he said, I'm talking about Kansas. Tennessee played Kansas last year. Okay, so you literally just named schools that Tennessee played. And they have maybe the SEC is not the best conference in basketball, but it's not a small-time conference. It's one of the top 3, top 2.
Let's take a look at the MVP voting from last year. Okay. Nikolai Jokic, where did he go to school?
He came out of Serbia.
I know. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
He came from Canada,
Kentucky.
Didn't he?
Kentucky. Well, Canada, then Chattanooga, then Kentucky. I still remember him being in studio for an interview one time and the co-host saying, I don't care what you say. That guy's just not big enough to play NBA basketball. I'm like, okie dokie. Luka Doncic. Where's he from? Where's Luka from? What blue blood college did he go to?
Did he even go to Blue Blood College? Isn't he also from some Eastern European place?
Yes. My son and I are big NBA guys. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Where did he go? Yes, Greece. He went to Greece. The University of Greece. All right. I want to be fair to the list. Jalen Brunson. I don't know where Jalen
Where did he
Brunson
go?
at the top of my head. And then we go Jason Tatum, who of course went to Duke.
Went to Duke, yeah.
Anthony Edwards.
Didn't he go to Kentucky?
Yes, he went to Kentucky.
Okay.
You have Sabonis, the younger one, and then Kevin Durant. Those were the top ones. So it's a 50-50 shot that you have to be from a blue blood to be one of the elite players in the NBA. And it's even a better ratio if you just want to be a player in the NBA for a decade. I mean, I guarantee you, just because of the numbers, the ratio is like 80% people from non-blue blood schools. It would have to be just by numbers alone.
Let's go.
Go ahead.
Let's play games of top 10 players of all time. Okay, Michael Jordan, blue blood, North Carolina. Fair, right? Okay, I can see. LeBron, Akron, Ohio, not even college. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, UCLA, I'll concede. Magic Johnson, Michigan State. I'll call Michigan State a blue blood. Okay, so we're at like 3 out of 4 blue bloods. But then
wait, I'm gonna stop you and correct me if I'm wrong on the message board. I don't think Michigan State was a blue blood when Magic made it to the final game. I think they were blue blood because of Tom Izzo. But we can move on.
Because he won a national title at Michigan State, maybe that it doesn't matter if they were blue blood or not, so you'll give him the break. I will concede that. Because then I can go Larry Bird, Indiana State University. Okay, 3 out of 5. I can go Tim Duncan, Wake Forest. Well, if Tennessee's not a blue blood, Wake Forest is certainly not a blue blood. Okay.
Chris Paul. I thought of
Chris Paul, Wake Forest, another non-blue blood. Bill Russell. Want to know where he went?
I know.
San Francisco.
Yes.
I didn't even know the University of San Francisco was a thing, guys. Okay. But that's where Bill Russell went. Okay. I don't think that's a blue blood program. Kobe, straight out of high school. Shaq. Where'd Shaq go? LSU. And someone's bringing it up now. Yeah. Ja Morant, when he's not shooting guns everywhere, is an NBA star who came out of Murray State. Steph Curry. Where'd Steph Curry go to college? Davidson.
I love what Trevor says here on the message board, brought to you by friends at Sports Treasures. Tennessee is becoming more relevant and blue bloody every year. Got to win a championship first, though. I agree. People that have not lived in Knoxville or don't know the Tennessee fan base don't understand that they have a very, very good basketball fan base. I'm not comparing it to Duke because it's football first at Tennessee, and I get that, but I think it's a very underrated fan base. If Tennessee wins a championship, I don't know that they're immediately blue blood, but they're knocking on the door like Gonzaga was for about a decade. They're right there for being a blue blood.
I mean,
is that too strong? You can, if you think I'm crazy, go ahead and tell me.
If they won a national title, I can't call you a blue blood with 1 national title. I don't know if I can call you a blue blood with 2 because Florida's got 2, and I don't consider them a blue blood. I consider Florida a total product of 1 head coach that had success. And so I think you have to win.
You're right. Can any team in the SEC be a blue blood because it's a football conference? Maybe the question.
Well, Kentucky is a blue blood.
Besides Kentucky.
Yes, here's what makes you a blue blood. And this is my rule of a blue blood. You have to win multiple national championships with it. And at least 2 coaches have to have won a national championship at your school. There. How about at least 2 coaches have to have won a national championship at your school?
And that's good. I like that. And I'm going to add to it. It has to be in 2 different decades.
Perfect. 2 different decades, 2 different coaches. So if Arkansas wins a national championship again in basketball, they might have a blue blood argument at that point.
That's a great
particularly
point.
With them losing Eric Musselman. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that because right now I think Arkansas is just a product of Nolan Richardson and their success. And I know Nolan got crazy at the end and maybe said some stuff he shouldn't have said, but maybe he should have been respected a little more when he was at Arkansas too, because they haven't repeated the success they had with him.
Yeah. So Will, do you believe, you're younger than me, but while we're walking the face of the earth, do you believe that Tennessee will ever be a blue blood? Because what you're saying is Rick Barnes would have to win a national title, retire, and then somebody else would have to come along and win a national title. That would make Tennessee a blue blood. Are you telling me that can happen? Or are you saying
Crazy.
Well, Rick Barnes is knocking on the door. We can agree with that, right?
yes?
We can also agree that
70 this month, I believe.
I can also tell you this. Danny White is the best hire in athletics, and his strongest sport traditionally has been basketball. So you don't think Danny White will identify the coach that can put Tennessee in position to win another national title with another coach after Rick Barnes?
Okay, well, tell me that. I know why, but a lot of the people may not. Why do you think his strongest is basketball?
Danny White, and I mean women's and men's basketball, everywhere he's been has identified coaches that are just in basketball that it's like, where did you find him? He found Nate Oates. He's the one who found Nate Oates when he was at Buffalo. And no one saw that
guy, but I respect him.
Yeah. He also found, before he found Kim Caldwell, there is a coach by the name of Felicia Leggett-Jack. And I want you guys to do some research on her. This is Danny White's first ever hire as an athletic director. When he was at Buffalo, he hired a women's basketball coach, Felicia Leggett-Jack. She was the most not in-demand coach possible. Dave, look at her final few years in Indiana. She was horrible. She had a horrible losing record. She had horrible losing seasons after losing seasons. The hire made no sense. Danny White made the hire and made the case that if you knew the inner workings of Indiana at the time, you would know why she had losing seasons. She's still a great coach. She then went from Buffalo to now Syracuse and is balling at Syracuse as a head coach. And Danny White was proven right on that. He found her when this wasn't like an unknown commodity like Kim Caldwell. This was a fired coach who no school would touch to hire. Okay. And Danny White found her and knew that she had just been in the wrong place at the wrong time. And now she is at Syracuse. This is who Danny White is. He identifies coaches in basketball incredibly well. Better than even football or baseball.